Hi everybody, welcome to Shoshie TV. I'm Shoshie and this is my crazy little ShoshieLand. So today I'm starting a series called What the Hell is My Body Doing? Because my body just does some really strange things. So I found some questions online and I'm just gonna go ahead and answer them, and that might tell you a little bit more about some of the chronic illnesses that I suffer, when I was diagnosed, what it's like for me, and maybe this will help someone understand that they're not the only one going through it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. I do have a notebook with some of the questions as well as some of my ideas on their responses. So let's do it. So the first question is, what conditions do you have? I have psoriasis, plaque psoriasis, which is an autoimmune disorder. I have psoriatic arthritis, which is also another autoimmune disorder, and I have fibromyalgia, which is also an autoimmune disorder. And finally, I have another condition which was caused by my autoimmune disorders called Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia syndrome, otherwise known as P.O.T.S. I do already have a video about my diagnosis story about P.O.T.S, since it is a rare condition, and I'm going to go ahead and link it into the down bar below, as well as another really great video explaining exactly what P.O.T.S is. So I have all these autoimmune disorders, and basically my autoimmune system is just hyperactive. It just is attacking itself, and so therefore it's creating some negative issues in my body. So those are the conditions that I have been diagnosed with. When were you diagnosed with these conditions? At 19, I was diagnosed with the plaque psoriasis. At 22 or 23, I was diagnosed with the fibromyalgia. At 30, I was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis in my hips and my spine. And just recently, at 34, I was diagnosed with the P.O.T.S syndrome, or the Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia syndrome. Have you ever been hospitalized? I have been hospitalized so many times since August of 2013, and this is September 2014 when I'm filming this video. I have been hospitalized 9 times. 9 times. And I've spent approximately 2 months of this last year in the hospital. Over my lifetime, I've been diagnosed. I have been admitted into the hospital 13 times, and that's actual admissions, and a lot of those had to do with surgeries or complications to surgeries. So I have spent more than my fair share in the hospital. Have you ever had surgery? I have had multiple surgeries, actually. I have had gastric bypass surgery. I've had double hernia surgery. I've had an infected gallbladder removed where they stopped counting at 100 stones. I have had a bowel obstruction repaired along with another hernia. I have had breast reconstruction done for a tubular breast deformity I was born with. And then I've also had my nose, or my deviated septum, taken care of because of breathing issues and sleep apnea, because I could not use the CPAP machine. So, needless to say, I have had a lot of surgeries. Random thing about the gastric bypass, I had it in November of 2001. I was 21 years old and I am now 34. I had it before laparoscopic was even an option, and I have never met anyone as young as myself, as many years out as I am. So if you know someone, or you are as many years out or longer, let me know in the comments below or message me. I would just be interested in meeting someone else who went through it at that age. The next question is, do you take any prescriptions? If so, what? So I do take quite a bit of prescriptions. I'm not going to list exactly what they are, but I will give you sort of what genre of medicines that I take and what I take them for. So because I have so many varying conditions, I take a varying amount of medications. I take a biological injection to help my psoriasis because my psoriasis and my psoriatic arthritis are pretty severe. Actually, they're very severe. For the fibromyalgia, I have extreme pain that's caused by it. I actually no longer remember what it's like to be without pain, so I do take some medicine to help control the pain. For the P.O.T.S, I take a beta blocker to help control the tachycardia because otherwise I would for the most part be incapacitated because my P.O.T.S is just so severe. I also have anemic issues, so I take a B12 shot once a month, and as needed I get an iron infusion to replace my iron. And the B12 and the iron are anemic issues that I've had for a long time that were exacerbated by the gastric bypass and also the P.O.T.S. So those are the medicines that I take. Oh, I also have to take some stool softeners to help with some of the gastroparesis that I have due to some of the medicines that I take, as well as the P.O.T.S. That's one of the issues that you have to deal with P.O.T.S. So those are all the medicines that I take on a daily basis. Always tell what I feel like on the inside based off of what I look like on the outside. Today, I'm exhausted. I'm worn out. I'm exhausted. I'm in pain. But I look okay. Got some makeup on, my hair's up, and you probably wouldn't realize it. So don't judge a book by its cover. There are so many people that are walking around with what's called hidden diseases, and unless you can see it, people believe it doesn't exist, and that frustrates the hell out of me. So don't judge a book by its cover. The other thing that I wish that people wouldn't say to me is when they find out that I have these conditions is, you're so strong, you're such a hero in my eyes. That drives me bonkers. Not that I don't appreciate that people believe in me and believe that I'm strong, but this is the hand that I was dealt, and I have to make the best of it. It's no different than your life and what you have to deal with, and just because you deal with whatever you have to deal with on a daily basis doesn't make you any less or more strong than I am. So that frustrates me, and that's actually quite common with people who have chronic illnesses, because you always get this sort of, oh, you're such a trooper, you're so strong. And in that comment, of which they mean to be very positive, there is a lot of sense of sort of pitying somebody, and I don't want to be pitied. I don't need to be pitied. So those are two of the things that are really big for me. The other thing too is that there's life beyond diagnosis. Is my life the same as someone who's completely healthy? No, absolutely not. But is it the end of my life? No, it's not the end of my life either. I might have to adapt my life, but that doesn't mean that I can't have a good life, and it doesn't mean that I am forever going to be this nothing of a person because I unfortunately got, you know, the short end of the stick. There's life beyond diagnosis. Adapt the life the best you can and make the best of it. The other thing is when I make a commitment to somebody, whether it's getting together, doing something, whatever it may be, I have the best intentions to keep those commitments. My health does not always allow me to do that. And if you are going to be in my life, and probably someone else with chronic illness, you've got to understand that we literally live our life day to day, and sometimes for me, hour by hour. And it's nothing personal if I have to cancel or I can't do it. It's because I feel like shit and I'm not up to it and I don't have the strength. Sometimes I can't even keep my eyes open. Literally, I can't keep my eyes open, or if my eyes are open, I'm not there. My brain is completely asleep. So please don't get angry if someone can't keep a commitment because they're not feeling well. And I would say the final thing that I get a lot of is, I think a lot of people assume that I can't be in a romantic relationship because I have health issues, or no one wants to be with me because I have these health issues. Just because I have these health issues doesn't mean I can't love someone. It doesn't mean that I can't be a good partner. And it sure as hell doesn't mean that I don't want that in return. Yes, do I come with extra baggage? Absolutely. But I probably have a lot more understanding on certain things than maybe other people who haven't been in my shoes, or haven't had a partner who've been through it, or parents that have had chronic illness. And it's something that most people want, and I am no exception. And I get asked this quite a bit as well, and I don't know why people think this, but I've gotten asked quite a few times, can you have sex? Yes, I can have sex. I have to be careful sometimes because of my heart rate issues. So obviously if my heart's 160 beats a minute, I'm not going to be in the mood to have sex, and it's not going to be safe to have sex. But yes, I can have sex. I can be intimate. I can have a relationship. So thought I would get those questions answered and out there as well. And one thing that I want to drive home is, I am not my illness. My illness is a part of me. Unfortunately, it plays a big role in my life, but it doesn't define who I am as a person, what my goals in life are, what my dreams in life are. I still have all of those things. Again, it goes back to life beyond diagnosis, just life having to be adapted. And I just want to hit that message. Oh, I just want to hit it home because people don't understand that a lot of the time. There's life beyond diagnosis, and I have dreams, and I have ideas, and love, and friendship, and it's just a part of who I am that I have to deal with. It does not define me. How does your illness most affect your life? There's never a day that I don't feel pain. There's never a day that I don't feel exhausted. There's never a day that I don't feel some sort of heart palpitations. So there's always things that remind me that I have these conditions. But I think what impacts me most on my life is some of the stress that comes along with having these conditions, the frustration that comes along with not feeling well, and sometimes there's a lot of anger. Why did I have to deal with this? And that can lead to depression. And when you get diagnosed, it's really common to go through a grieving process, and I have been through that multiple times as I've gotten diagnosed with things. As I've gotten diagnosed with more things, it's become a bit easier, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't take its toll on me. But I think the thing that is hardest is the toll that it takes on my friends and my family. I hate that they worry about me. I hate that I can't always be reliable to them, and I hate feeling like I'm a burden to them sometimes, or that they're disappointed in me, and I don't want my friends and family to be disappointed in me. I don't want them to be disappointed, and I don't want them to think that I'm a burden on them. So I do the best that I can to not be those things, but I know that there's people in my life that feel that way, and I hate that. I hate it. So those are probably some of the hardest things. Who knows about my illness? Pretty much anyone who's consistently in my life knows about my illness. It's not something that I hide or I can hide, because if you are going to be in my life, you have to understand what baggage that I bring. I also think it's really important that my family, my close family and my close friends know what my conditions are, because God forbid something happens, especially with having a rare condition like POTS. A lot of doctors don't know about it, so they're gonna have to help educate them to make them understand, especially if I'm not able to articulate that. So if you have health issues, don't be afraid to tell your friends and family. If they judge you on it, then they're not meant to be in your life anyway. If you could tell the medical community one thing about treating your illness, what would it be? My number one thing would be, don't blame me. Just because I'm young, just because I have illnesses, and just because it's complicated and it took you a while to figure it out, doesn't give you the right to blame it on me. I'm not your scapegoat. You tend to look at me and make prejudgments that, oh, I look healthy, so therefore I must be abusing my medicines. I'm, you know, purposely sabotaging myself, so therefore maybe I have Munchausen's. There's all of these different things that I have come across, and I hate it. I hate being judged. I hate having to be on my guard when I should be able to be open with my medical team. And over the years, I've developed a really good medical team of core doctors that I'm still developing, but when I go into the ER or the hospital, it's a fight 90% of the time, because I get these preconceived notions on who I am and what I am, and because I don't look a certain way or I'm not of an age that I should be sick. The medical community just judges you. Stop. Stop judging people. We're not all drug addicts. We're not all people who are sabotaging ourselves. There's some of us that are actually dealing with these issues. So unless we give you a reason to doubt us, listen. Listen. It wasn't until a doctor listened to me that I finally got the final piece of the puzzle of what has been going on with me, slowly but surely, but especially after these last few years, of why I've been getting so sick. And this includes being hospitalized multiple times in one of the top hospitals in Southern California, and they still judged me. And they still didn't know. And they still turned it around on me. So listen to your patients. Don't judge. We're not all horrible people. Some of us are really sick and need your help. Just listen. Those are the basic questions that I came across that I wanted to answer. But overall, just remember that because a person has health issues doesn't mean they're inept, doesn't mean they're not capable, doesn't mean that they don't have the right to a good life, doesn't mean that they don't have the right to love, to sex, to companionship. It doesn't mean any of those things. You just have to be willing to go along for the ride of the ups and downs that come with it. And if you can't handle it, then do yourself and that person a favor and be honest with yourself and let them know, because more of us than not will have a lot more respect if you say, I can't handle it, than if you lie or fake it, because then it becomes passive aggressive and we can tell and we internalize it. I can't say it enough. There's life beyond diagnosis. It's not always easy. It's not always glamorous. It's not always fabulous. Life isn't like that anyway, but you can adapt it to the best that you can. If you can't work like myself, then try and do things that make you happy. That's part of the reason I do YouTube, is because I can try and help get my message across and maybe help someone else who's in my situation, and you know, do something and create something positive. So just because you may not be able to work doesn't mean that you're useless or you have accomplished nothing in your life. So find something that makes you happy and do the best that you can at it with what tools that you have, and always keep your eye out for ways to improve yourself, improve your health, educate people if that's what you choose to do, but most importantly, keeping yourself healthy and happy. If you have any questions or you have any comments, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. Like this video if you like this series. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to keep the discussion going, or you want to message me privately or through other avenues, you can find me on social media via Instagram at Shoshie_TV and Twitter at ShoshieTV. Thank you so much for stopping by ShoshieTV and my crazy little ShoshieLand. I'll see you next time. Bye.